All right, my life was threatened today flying the drone. Let's get into it. I'll explain what happened. I went to a place called Penrose Off-Highway Vehicle Commons. It's Bureau of Land Management Property, and that's a federal thing, but here in Colorado, most parks, all state parks, anything like that, there used to be some open spaces where you could fly the drone, but most of those places now have signs up, no drones. Bureau of Land Management does not ban drones. You can do almost anything you want out there, including in certain places you can even shoot weapons off. But we're not here for that. But anyway, went out there to fly the drone. I've been there once before with the Spark, and I've been there once before to ride ATVs with my brother-in-law. So anyway, I go out there today, and today is May 2nd, 2026. I go out there with my newly purchased, brand new used Mavic Pro 2. We'll get into why I bought a drone that old in another video, but I just bought this thing on eBay. I got a really good deal on it. It was $4.99, has 3 batteries with it. So, but I hadn't flown it yet. I fired it up in the driveway and took a picture of the roof that I need to have repaired, but I hadn't actually flown it yet. So I wanted to make sure everything was working right. So I took it out there today, and I'm flying with the Crystal Sky screen, which all worked great. Mavic Pro 2, or Mavic 2 Pro, I guess it's really called. I took it up. First thing I did is I'm getting errors on the screen. I realized I hadn't removed the gimbal protector, the gimbal guard. So I landed, took that off, and went again. And I'm flying, and I'm getting a better flight time than I expect. The other drones I have are a Spark and a Mavic Air 1. I haven't flown the Air only a couple of times before I had problems with it. But the Spark, I think it says it gets 11 minutes. You really get 8. Anyway, let's get back to the story. So I got to make sure that this used drone that I bought works properly. I want to make sure everything works. I get it up, flying, everything is great. I'm about 200, a little over 200 feet most of the time. At one point, I dropped it to 150. I'm flying with the gimbal on 0, which is you're looking straight out over the horizon. I wasn't actually trying to film anything on the ground. And I'm in the parking lot of this off-highway vehicle park. And there's a motorhome, but I don't see anybody anywhere around it. And it looks a little shaggery. It's a motorhome parked there, right? So I didn't go right next to that. I'm on the other side of the restroom building. It's a little small square building with 2 restrooms like you'd expect in a state federal park type of thing. So I went over there and I launched the drone, and I flew 1 battery out. Long story short, I flew 1 battery out. I landed, and I was going to put a new battery in and try to get the sunset. I went there late in the day to film some video and pictures of the sunset. It's a nice mountainous area out there. You can see Pikes Peak in a distance. Very cool. Very cool images from out far. That far. The farther you get away from the mountains, they seem so much more majestic than when you get a close-up picture. Close-up pictures are nice, but anyway, I wanted to get the sunset and whatnot. Flew that battery, landed, and the controller said it was only 19% already. I'm like, that can't be right. So I plugged in this inverter that I have into the back 12-volt outlet of my Xterra, which I've never even used that outlet. I've never had a reason to. So I plugged that inverter into it, and then plug my chargers and stuff in, and I start charging the controller. Well, everything's great there, but I don't know how much you can do with that before you drain your battery. And I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I'm not even going to chance that. So I go to start the Xterra so that it's running while the inverter is charging the controller. Well, my truck won't start. The Xterra won't start. It has a problem right now with the crankshaft sensor. Once in a while, it's hard to start, but usually it's not hard to start. But it's not starting, and I hear somebody talking, and at first I thought it was just 2 people talking or walking towards the bathrooms. Then I realized it's just one person he was talking. Maybe he's talking to the dog that's walking with him, possibly on the phone. I don't know, but I didn't see a phone. So this guy approaches me and he starts talking about the drone. Somebody's flying a drone. And I know it's not the people over there. And he says, "Are you flying a drone?" It's literally sitting right in front of us on the ground. And I said, "Yeah, it's right there. It's on the ground. I'm flying a drone. I'm going to stump this thing. I'm going to stump this son of a bitch." This guy starts going off. I can't even remember. The entire thing was a threat. Threatening me the entire way. Now, it was verbal. It wasn't physical. He wasn't getting right up into my face and threatening me in that manner. But he's standing 3-4 feet away. We're having a conversation, and his side of the conversation is threatening. And I'm just trying to keep everything cool, explaining what I'm doing. And he's not having it. Everything I say, oh, that's even worse. Oh, that's even worse, what I'm doing. Now, the footage isn't even usable because the SD card is so slow that it's so choppy. But I did go and look, and I did fly over some trailers, not intentionally. I didn't even realize I did. So I'm probably in the bad there. But I have the right to fly in this area, but you're stupid if you fly right over the top of somebody. So I'm in the wrong as far as that goes. But anyway, I'm trying to start the car when he walks up, and he's going to threatening to stomp on the drone, and we have a conversation. In the middle of the conversation, by the way, and he tells me his name, which I've already forgotten because I was nervous. And I said, my name's Mark, and we shake hands. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't intend to do anything wrong. And I explained to him why I'm way out there in the middle of nowhere, thinking out there and not bothering anybody. It's not, I said, I was just flying in a circle. I didn't realize I flew over anybody. But I actually did. So it's my bad on that. Lesson learned. But and then he'd ramp right back up. Now he's threatening me again. And it happened to shake hands again. And it's like, this guy's going up and down, telling me about how all his teammates, when he was wherever, Iraq or whatever, I don't think he was old enough to be in any of the real stuff that happened in the past. But anyway, I don't know that much about our conflicts. So anyway, he was clean cut, younger guy, maybe 30 at the most, clean cut. He did not appear to be intoxicated. I didn't smell anything on him, and he's drinking just a can of LaCroix water. But he kept going up. He changing. He'd calm down, shake hands, then he's going nuts again. So I'm thinking, okay, we got it all resolved. He's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And as he walked away 3 more times, he said, this is a threat. I will end your life. And I'm just said, okay. And then I just put everything away, got in the car, started it, and left. Now, I didn't back down from him, or I did apologize because I was probably in the wrong, and I just wanted to diffuse the situation. But I kept eye to eye, face to face, not knowing what his next move was going to be. And I remember thinking, like, I can't believe this is happening. I've seen this so many times on videos on the internet where people just go ape shit. Now, he could have come over there and just said, hey, I don't want you flying the drone over me, man. Could you not do that? And I wouldn't have, because I didn't realize I didn't. I really didn't. I thought I was flying a perimeter around, and first of all, where there were vehicles over there, there's a lot of vehicles with trailers just parked, and then the people have taken their ATVs, their Jeeps, their rock crawlers out to this area where they do rock crawling in this off-highway vehicle park. So I didn't really think about it, but I didn't realize people are right there camping, and I did fly over them without realizing it. So that's not good, but that doesn't constitute threatening somebody's life. Now he's like, oh, I'll call the FAA, and you want to call the police on me? Go ahead. I'm like, I'm not calling the cops. I got no problem with anything. I said, I apologize. I'm not going to fly over you again. I didn't intend to in the first place. And he's still just going off as he's walking away. He threatened my life no less than 3 more times. I'm not trying to act brave or anything. I stood my ground because I don't want to turn my back on somebody like that, because I have no idea who this guy is, what he's capable of. So I, man to man, stood right with him. Where's my hand? He's a little shit kind of, but that doesn't matter. This guy, he's claiming to be a veteran and special forces and drones bop. His whole point was, I have PSTD, and drones drop hand grenades on all my buddies in the war, and it's going on and on. I don't know if he's full of shit or not, honestly, but neither here nor there. He still threatened my life, and it's kind of, so I had, if you've heard of Ken Herron, he has a really big YouTube channel. Been watching him for probably at least 6 or 7 years, been watching his stuff off and on. And one of the last videos I watched, he's wearing a high-vis vest, which I have one, in a body camera. And I've heard other people say the same thing. If you're flying the drone, put a high-vis vest on so people know that you're doing something. It's just a mindset thing, I think, with some of these knuckleheads. If you're standing there in a hoodie and a hat in a corner flying a drone, they think you're up to something bad. If you're flying there in the open with a bright green vest on that says drone pilot, maybe they'll be like, hey, what are you doing? and then you can explain it. So lesson learned, Ken Heron, he has on that one video, I wish I would have looked it up, but this all happened so fast anyway. The guy's name is Ken Heron. He has a good channel, and he has a video where he talks about the body cam, and there's a pretty inexpensive one you can get on Amazon. Might be a good idea while you're flying to have that body cam on in case you encounter something like this. And if you had to protect yourself, you need to have proof that you're not the aggressor and the other guy is. So I suggest you have some sort of video running. Maybe if I had a tripod near me with a camera on it, capturing any of this would have been sufficient. But anyway, no harm, no foul. He never actually touched me. And like I said, it was kind of odd that he was that verbally threatening, but he wasn't bumping his chest out and coming up to me. He stayed a logical distance apart. And like I said, he shook hands at one point and then ramped right back up. He told me a story about somebody who knew that 2 dead drones from people trying to spy inside the windows of the mobile motorhome. Dude, whatever. I get it. People get pissed off. The whole problem with drones is the stupid stuff people were doing when they first came out. I watched a video where these guys are filming the parking lot where the cruisers are parked for the LAPD police department. And the cop comes outside and he says, "Hey, could you please not film the parking lot?" Completely polite. And the guy's like, "I have every right to film this. I'm not breaking any laws." And the guy's like, "I understand that, but we feel more comfortable and safer if you weren't sitting here filming us." And the guy just kept going on and on. So, and all the people, guy flying over a swimming pool trying to see the girl in the bathing suit, you know what I'm talking about. And the people flying in parks too close to people, especially with the high-speed first-person drones. Tell you a little story. I have some video and some stuff that I shot at Round Rock's open space in Colorado Springs, Colorado. That's where I live. And I got some really good footage. I'm in the street. I'm not actually in this park because the parking lot was full. I'm parked in the street. I set up a small folding plastic table with all my gear on it out in the open away from everybody. And I flew. I never went intentionally over anybody's head. And if I was, maybe they're so high. I wasn't doing anything to bother anybody. And then I saw a video on YouTube where a guy's flying an FPV drone, and those things go like 100 miles an hour. He's flying it, and he's doing acrobatic loops and all kinds of stuff. And there's people directly below him. I'm like, dude, I'm just thinking, dude, what the hell are you doing? You can't do that right over the top of people. Next time I go back, there's a big sign, no drones. Gee, I wonder why. So people are doing stupid stuff to cause everyone to hate drones. Now, I don't know where the hell you can fly now for fun. I wanted stick time and practice. 2 reasons. Like I said, I just bought this drone. I want to make sure everything worked. I can't wait 2 months and say, "Hey, you sold me a drone that's broken." I wanted to make sure everything works. And fortunately, everything did work. I got some errors on the collision avoidance thing. I think I just need to turn it on. But anyway, so much was going on. I only flew 1 battery and I didn't address everything. Having trouble with I think the SD cards I have are crappy. They're okay for 1080p, but they're too slow to record 4K. Kind of lost my place there. I was rambling. So lesson learned. You got to stay away from anybody no matter what. Probably if you're going to fly a lot, particularly you're going to fly, if you're doing this professionally, you're flying real estate, you're going to do a home for a real estate agent. The house on either side is probably going to be pissed and not understand what's going on, because if you get far enough back away from the house to get a good vantage point, you're going to be over the top of another house. And people think you can't fly over my house, it's against the law. It's not. It's easement. You're allowed to fly over somebody's house. I suggest you don't if you can avoid it. And there's other people that think, well, yeah, I own the airspace 80 feet above my house. That's not true either. That's a specific case and a specific ruling for a company that was flying over a guy's house and his chickens quit laying eggs. Anyway, as far as the law is concerned, you own the airspace from the ground all the way up to infinity. However, it is an easement. If United Airlines wants to fly over your house, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. And if I want to fly my drone 200 feet above your house, there's not a damn thing you can do about it. It's perfectly legal. Now, I know I don't know all the rules and laws by heart, and you can, argue this crap all day long. Bottom line, I went somewhere where I thought it was going to be completely free of anybody hassling me, and then this happened. And it's the first time I've ever had an issue. And anytime somebody specifically, it's not like, hey man, I'm going to kick your ass or I'll you up, or let's try not to cuss. He specifically said, this is a threat. I will end your life. He never said, I'll kill you. He said, I will end your life. He said something else earlier in the same thing, but he never said the word kill. And like I said, it was all verbal. I didn't feel physically threatened. He was just rambling. And the guy was furious. I was like, holy crap. You wouldn't be surprised if somebody that was intoxicated was furious. But once he came over there and I apologized and he said, blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, I'm sorry. I agree with you 100%. I'm not arguing at all. I'm not going to do it again. I'm getting ready to leave. Everything's cool. At that point, a normal person would consider it diffused and walk away. But he had to threaten my life 3 more times as he walked away. Now, I had no intention of calling the police. For one thing, I'm so far away that I'll be 2 hours before the cops even got there, and I'd be sitting there in the dark, just waiting. I'm not going to call the cops. And then you have the question of the cop probably doesn't know anything about the drone laws and thinks what you're doing is illegal and you're in the wrong. So tangling with a cop over the drone is not a good idea unless you have to, because you see countless videos where the police have no idea what the actual regulations are. Now, I'm sure if you have a certain city and they create their own ordinance that says, yeah, you can't fly a drone, then I guess you got to abide by that. But people can't just say, I know my rights, you can't fly over my house or near me or any of that. That's not how it works. It's a federal easement, and you have the right to fly in that. It's probably Class G airspace if it's not classified as anything else. And like I said, you can fly over their house because it's an easement. I don't suggest you do. And I don't suggest you fly at 60 feet over their house either. Anyway, that's all. I got a little quick short that I'm going to link the short to this video. Just kind of yammering because I'm not nervous about it anymore, but it all just happened. So he threatened to stomp my drone. He threatened to kill me or threatened to end my life. Anyway, good night. Leave any comments. If you got any suggestions, any comments, share something that might have happened to you. One thing I forgot to say is my cell phone was in the back of the Xterra because I was running the app on there for the drone locator, watching the remote ID because I've only used that a couple times. It's brand new. It's only my second flight with that thing. So I had my phone laying in the car. And like I said, I came around from the back to start the vehicle because I plugged that inverter in. I didn't want to run my battery down. And that's when the guy walked up. So anyway, if you have any experiences like that or anything you can add or any advice, leave that in the comment and I would love to hear about it. Thank you.